So I'm going to come to our next kind of wave, which is
Hmm.
talking about the dream arc. You
Yeah.
and Richard co-created this incredible living world of animals and birds and the turtles and everybody. So can you tell us about the dream arc and a little bit about how these beautiful archetypes help us in our day-to-day life?
Yes, I will do my best. Um, okay, so maybe in about 2015, I was in Scotland at some Gene Keys retreat, and that's when Richard approached me and said, "Hey, because he had already done work with the Dream Arc before in terms of working on the Codex, which is where that's what I read from, where Richard like went through all the animals, figured out which ones corresponded to which gene keys, and he put them into the under, middle, and upper world. He had already done that by the time we met. He had done some of the writing, and he had even done some like workshop-y kind of thing years before, but kind of it sat on a shelf. And then in 2015, he asked me if I would partner with him on the Dream Arc. And at that time, I was like aware of the animals and what numbers they corresponded to, but not much more than that. And I think one, it was very intuitive of him to reach out to me. He knew about the Wisdom Keepers deck, but I don't think he really knew. I don't think he ever like looked at it or read any of the stories or anything. So it was really an intuitive hit on his part, and maybe he kind of wanted me to be an illustrator. And I'm not an illustrator. I'm an expressive artist. Like it's very unusual for me to like be given an assignment and say go do that. It rarely works in that way for me. So, and I felt like an intuitive yes, but I was kind of terrified. And then there was this other part, like this other part saying, Richard, if you want to partner with me, you're not going to get an illustrator. If you want a really good artist, there are much better artists out there. But if you want to partner with me, I'm going to feel into the dream arc and it's going to guide me in my contribution to it. And he's like, yeah, sure. What the heck? And so we started working behind the scenes for several years before it actually got absorbed into the Gene Keys and made into an online course. And I think over time he started to realize that I work differently. Like I have a very similar connection, a deep connection to the transmission, but my background is in therapy. It's in the expressive arts. It's in interactivity. It's in multiculturalism. It's in the synarchy, right? It's like uplifting and shining a spotlight on other people, and it's the turtle, right? In a way, right? Like he invited me in, but he ended up getting a whole turtle with all the different tectonic plates on the back. And it was a little overwhelming for the Gene Keys, I'll tell you that. But I think that we had a great time. We had a great time creating this, not just a course, but this adventure world